I've put together all the clues, and there is only one possible explanation.
What is your deduction?
It was Dr. Watson in the crack den with a ballpoint pen.
Watson.
Watson. That son of a bitch.
That was so perfect.
Can you imagine if, like, I'm doing my Galadriel voice here. I'm like, that son of a bitch.
Oh my god, if Cate Blanchett ever did that.
Oh man, yep.
That would be perfect.
Sauron, the enemy of the free peoples of Middle-earth, was defeated. That son of a bitch.
Oh, that's one way to start an episode.
This is fantastic bread, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank my family for being... Well, we finally broke out the bread maker the first time in, like, 8 months.
Awesome.
It's delicious.
Oh, so good. So...
It was actually our first time making Italian bread. Could not have come out any better than that, I think.
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you guys are keeping warm during these very cold days. Welcome back to the General Geekery Podcast, the podcast where you can relax, calm down, where we geek out about all that we love to geek about, with no remorse, no regrets, and with all of the enthusiasm in the world. Just...
You're very chill today.
I figure we all need a little bit of a chillness with just how cold it's been outside. I mean, we're sitting here enjoying bread, sipping on some tea.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anyways, as always, this is your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night, Donald Kaczynski, back again. And to my right-hand side, she is our dice slinger extraordinaire, artiste magnificente, Miss Hannah Kubiak.
Hi.
And with that Clue-style intro that Hannah performed for us, very on point on that. Very well done.
Thank you.
That was just the right amount of camping over the top that I expect from playing a game of Clue.
Thank you.
My only wish is that I wish I had the OST from the movie Knives Out playing in the background, because that would just make it so perfect.
It was me with the revolver, and now I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
It do be like that sometimes. I would imagine in the world of fiction. But
that's the end of Clue.
That is true. That is very true. So today, what sparked this conversation is at the time of this recording on the previous Saturday. Well, it would actually be the previous Saturday when we released this episode.
Yeah.
I did a Twitch stream with my community. We were playing a very popular murder game called Among Us. And Hannah decided to join in for that. It was a real surprise seeing you. I was like, oh my god,
really?
what is it?
Oh, wow.
It was a real surprise seeing you. I saw you pop up like in the chat and in the Discord server. I'm like, is Hannah joining? Oh my god, this is awesome!
I'd never played Among Us before, so... yeah. I was like, Sarah, I'm gonna go and play Among Us with a bunch of random strangers and Donald. And she was like, okay, don't die. I'm like, I probably will. Bye.
I mean, you did die, but you also killed people as well.
Yep.
So, you know what? It sort of evens out.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
My time was not wasted.
I'm sorry that you were one of my murder victims.
I'm sorry you were one of my murder victims.
You know what? You know what? It made for some great social media things. So let's leave it at we'll leave it at that.
That was the dumbest kill as well, because I literally didn't know how to escape the room without being seen because I didn't know where the vent was. So I, like, killed you.
Future Inepticon episode, Hannah gets good at Among Us.
Yeah, I, like, killed you, and your body was just lying there, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I get out? I was like, I guess I go out through the door the way that I came, and so I was headed toward the door, and then somebody else, like, showed up and, like, intercepted me, and I was like, I can't
believe
like,
Evan
turned around like I had just walked in, too, and I was looking around, and then I, like, went over to your body, and I reported it myself. Because I was like, this is going to look suspicious if I just fart around here for...
Okay, you want to know the funny thing about that? If you actually go back to my stream, like, as a ghost, I was like, Hannah, I trusted you. And then I saw the person you're talking about, Evan. Shout out to Evan S. Gamma. Love you, buddy. He was right over there as well. I thought he would see the body, but the way he was acting, he wasn't coming over reporting it. I thought he was the other imposter that was killing people alongside you. I was so convinced it was him. And I actually said that multiple times.
No, I
Oh, man.
I was just very lucky that, like, yeah, no. And then people would, like, suspect me of stuff because they'd be like, where were you? And I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, sounds sus to me. I'm like, I literally don't know where I am.
Yep.
I don't know what I was doing.
And I had to see, like, she has not played this game before, guys. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
I'm glad that you said that for me right after I killed you as well. That was
right before you killed me. Yeah, I did say that.
No, it was after I killed you.
Yeah, that is true. I'm like, I'm not gonna out you, but I also need to know, like, this is this is still like your first time doing a session, so I'm like, I have to make this clear. But Among Us falls into a category of, like, gameplay in both board games and in video games as well. The whodunit scenario, basically dating back to the board game Clue, which is, oh my god, that you want to talk about putting on your Agatha Christie hat? Clue is probably, like, one of the primary games that involve, like, the murder mystery kind of archetype in games.
Oh yeah, tons of fun.
I was left playing as Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard. I'm trying to remember.
I just love that name so much.
I'm partial to Professor Plum, actually.
That's another good one. That's another good one as well.
I liked to just be in the library. I didn't really, like... I think I remember a couple times I didn't even really try to solve the mystery. I was just in the library.
Hannah, what are you doing in the library? We must come out and solve this mystery. No, I wish to continue my reading of all of these fine collections from the greatest of authors.
Like, no.
I could totally imagine Victorian era you doing that.
Murder does not interest me. I don't care who has died. I must finish Les Miserables.
I can low-key see that being you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just like... That was me in Among Us as well. People were like, we gotta vote. And I'm like, I just want to finish my tasks. Can we get back?
Yep. You typed that on the chat.
I did, yes.
I saw that and I was
pointless. I wish to return to my work.
You were so matter-of-fact about it. It was so great.
I actually kind of liked being made a ghost early on because that meant that I could move through walls and get to my tasks quicker.
That actually is a great aspect of the game.
I was like, yeah.
Just
yes, I just move through the wall and finish my task.
Through this mortal coil.
The mortal coil. I become more efficient when I am dead.
But oh my god, murder mystery kind of games are always so much fun. Like, I know Clue is like the granddaddy of them all. Then you had, like, Among Us is like the big one these
right
days.
Now, anyway, yeah.
Like the big one these days. But there's also other ones that follow that archetype in terms of both video games and board games. You've got The Wolf Among Us. Werewolf, yeah. I think Dead by Daylight does count in that respect. Yeah. I know
Mafia is the one you'd play, like, with the playing cards.
Yeah,
like, I remember as, like, an 11-year-old being in a game of Mafia where there were, like, 25 of us playing the game.
Oh, my
God.
God.
No sense. There were so many people.
Oh my God.
because more and more people would come and be like, oh, I want to play, I want to play. You're like, oh my gosh, all these little kids, get away. Like,
yeah, oh, yeah.
We'd like go and hide somewhere to play Mafia, and people would find us, be like, I want to play too. We're like, oh my gosh.
We actually kind of ran into a situation like that when we were doing the Among Us thing on Saturday. I was mainly doing it for my friends that are also streamers and like members of like our respective communities that we trust and are always active, but we always had like these random people like asking in chat, can I come in and play? Can I come in and play? Can I come in and play? It's just like, it was like a reward kind of thing that we were doing for our respective communities for being there, just supporting us through all of that. So that was our way of giving back.
Aww.
But then we have like all the randoms coming in, and I'm just like, guys, you gotta put in the hours watching us. Like, this is give and take here. But it was a lot of fun that night, and oh my god, another murder mystery kind of thing that has like gone. Have you heard of something called Gmod at all?
Sounds familiar.
So Gmod is like a PC style game where you have like the bare bones of like maps and character things. But you can create the style, what kind of game you can do with it. So there's a style of Gmod called Murder, where there's a group of people and there is a single murderer that can kill people with a knife. And the objective is the murderer has to kill all of the innocents, or the innocents has to find the murderer and kill the murderer with a gun that only one innocent is spawned with a gun, but there are clues throughout the map, and if you pick up a total of 5 clues, if I'm not mistaken, you get access to a gun.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's basically cat and mouse and things like that. And how I've seen some people play, they will play like they'll all talk while during gameplay, but if a person is killed, they will mute themselves, and that's when it becomes like pandemonium. Yeah, in that sort of case. So less discussion based, like compared to Among Us. Yeah, but still a lot of fun. But that's an experience I like watching more than playing. Among Us is like has a style that I feel like is like more accessible and just more engaging in some cases. Yeah. And Among Us was a game that was developed back in 2018, and it was over the course of the pandemic it was over the course of the pandemic where believe it or not, streamers were trying to find more games to do as like party stuff with like their friends and things like that, and they picked up on Among Us. And it became this like giant phenomenon. Like I think it was like back in like either last August or September. Yeah. That it really skyrocketed.
Yeah, that's when I remember it starting.
And I was just looking at that too, and I was checking out. I'm like, this looks really fun. Like, what is it? And I saw this. I'm like, this looks like so much fun. So then, I had recently just gotten more stuff on my laptop for Steam, and I saw Among Us on there, and it was only like $4 at the time. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna get this.
It's still only $4.
It's still only $4?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
I had to buy it to join the game yesterday.
Oh man,
or whatever day that was. I don't remember.
But it's a great game. It's not as like it's just simple like murder mystery kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Use your thinking brain on that.
Yeah, I think there's a big sort of there's a big, I guess, upsurge of games recently. Not just murder mystery kind of games, but games that have sort of like the that sort of traitor element.
Yes.
Where you kind of you're playing the game collaboratively with either the whole time with somebody who's going to like turn the tables on you, or somebody who's the traitor the whole time, or you become the traitor halfway through. Like
yeah, that's been
the haunting of the house on the Betrayal at House on the Hill. That one.
Yes, absolutely.
You ever played that? That has a traitor element to it.
Yep, I do agree on that. And then, of course, you have, like, the deductive card games like Werewolf, where, like, interaction like that is so key. Yeah. And because there's, like, so many, like, tiny little things that can happen through all that, because there's so many steps.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you ever played Werewolf where it's just one round?
That gets nutty.
I know.
That gets so nutty.
If you think that normal Werewolf is based on absolutely no evidence whatsoever, it's...
Well, I think that's kind of like the intrigue and like the appeal when it comes to traitor games and murder mystery games like that, is that baseless accusations cause the greatest amount of chaos. I mean, we both saw it firsthand when we were playing Among Us that night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And and I had it so much against me. Like we went for 6 hours that night.
Holy.
Like you were there for like the beginning part of it. We did a 6 hour session of just playing through Among Us.
I can't.
You lose track of time.
Yeah,
a lot of us that were in there like since the beginning, like, oh, we were sore the next morning. We were sore the next
just
morning.
from sitting around. Oh, the sedentary life.
That's why we need to institute like stretch breaks for situations like that. But
yeah.
That's more of a stream thing and not for the podcast thing.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we do... Oh my god, you know...
Do like a thing you could buy in the chat that's like, get up and walk around.
Well, maybe once I get a webcam for like my streams, and then, that'll probably be like a thing that I do.
I saw that you do have a hydrate button.
Yeah. Hydration.
Hydration station.
Hydration station.
Have you ever played, I think it's called The Resistance? It's like Mafia or Among Us, but it's kind of in a sort of futuristic world.
I have not, but I know the game that you are talking about. Mm-hmm. I do know the game that you're talking about. I have seen people play it. Mm-hmm. I have seen people play it. There was a YouTube channel that I watched that they used to do like a lot more video game stuff like that, but then they started doing a series of like doing tabletop. Yeah. Games, and Resistance was one of them that was in the shuffle. Right, yeah. And
that's a good one.
That's insane.
You're like, I'm trying to remember. I think the last time I played that was at I think it was at the cast party for Titus, actually.
We were playing Resistance that night.
It was at Brittany's house. Robert had brought it from...
Oh, yeah, because he was working at Board Game Mirror System. I remember now. Then I have played it, because I was playing with you guys. Yeah. That was such a fun night. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. That was, like, the first night that I had ever played, like, a game like that, because I hadn't played Werewolf before. Yeah. So Resistance was, like, my first Werewolf-type game. Okay.
I see. It wasn't just... one that you have played. It was the first one.
Okay. So, I was about to say, like, why do I remember? Oh, that's why. It's this weird thing with me, like, I will never, like, remember, like, the names of some things, but I will remember the games. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The actual gameplay itself. Mm-hmm. It's been a thing with me ever since I was a child. Yeah. But, yeah, that was a really, really fun night. And it's just, like, when you look... And it's really games like that with board games... Mm-hmm. With board/card games and deduction style, where you can see across the table of people face to face, like facial recognitions, eye twitches, things like that. Yeah. That's when you start putting on your Sherlock Holmes cap, and you start identifying the little things in people. Yeah, I am terrible at that kind of stuff, honestly. Like, like being able to figure out. I'm naturally so trusting and all that I'm kind of like, it can't be that person. Yeah, it can't be that person. There are some people that you're like, I suspect you all the time. You suspected me the entire time we were playing Among Us.
Yes, but I never believed myself. I was always like, at first round, I was always like, I should just vote for Donald just because. And I was like, nah, I don't know anything yet. And then the next round, you would kill me. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I should have listened.
That is some weird karma.
Yep. You just have one of those faces, Donald.
So what you're saying is I need to shave. Mm-hmm. Got it. Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Just gonna go to get a.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a comb through your hair. I'm just joshing you.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say
you know we're friends if I'm joshing you and telling you got.
She has cut me to the quick.
Yep. Yeah. Yesterday, a friend of mine I don't remember what I did or anything, but he, like, turned to me and he was like, bitch! And I was like, we're good friends now, right? Like, I didn't even feel bad about it.
Oh my god.
Like, at a certain point, you're like, aw, we're close enough that you know I'm not gonna slap you.
That's so funny.
I was, like, actually honored.
That is so funny.
Because it takes a lot for me to get to a point where, like, I'm like, okay, we're good enough friends that I can make fun of you.
And then you start playing games like Werewolf, Among Us, Resistance, everything like that, where that trust is put to the test, and then, oh,
I'm like,
how dare!
How dare you! I thought I
dare.
knew. And I'm just not very good at, like those kind of games. I always seem to do, like, the opposite thing always happens, where, like, when I'm just an innocent civilian and I have nothing to hide, people are asking me all these questions, and I'm like, no, I didn't do anything, I'm innocent. And they're like, see, that is the talk of a guilty person. I'm like, no, it's not, I swear.
It's total Salem witch trial pandemonium.
Yeah, exactly. And then when I'm the killer and everything, and they're just like, so, like, what are you, like, where were you? And I was like, oh, I was just in the greenhouse while I'm putting in my code. And they're like, oh, checks out.
There. and that's like the weird thing. And, like, so that's your perspective of, like, how you had played it for the first time, right? So, on my thing, I've played Among Us for multiple different times across 3 or 4 months now. And, excuse me. When you play with a certain number of people the same amount of times, you notice certain things, like, about them, how they play, and how can that contribute to both good and bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up an example. One of my friends from college, also, hey Chandler, how you doing? His name is, he goes by Chandler, Nin, things like that. He is, he likes to lead the conversation in discussions. And that can be really good for if you have an unfocused group, that can help lead to getting the imposters. But if he is the imposter, like, you can tell, like, I've known his tell, like, if he's imposter and he starts going like that, because he starts being a little bit quieter and he starts being slightly more aggressive.
Quiet and aggressive. Ooh.
Like, he will still be leading the conversation. Yeah. But he won't be doing as much deducting as he will be more aggressing.
Right. Oh, gosh.
Like that's a significant tell for me.
Yeah.
Because that's just a thing with me, with, like, me doing, like, voiceover stuff and having to re-listen to my voice so many times. I can listen to, like, small little notches in, like, people's voices if I'm really concentrating in the moment. And I can identify, wait a minute, why is the speech pattern going a little bit different on this situation? Yeah. See, it's random little tricks like that.
I know, yeah. I feel like it's not so much actually noticing stuff. Now, I'm just gonna talk about the human brain for a minute here. So some people notice specific things like that, like a certain cadence or whatever. People who, like, take in information more like more in a more sensory way. It's kind of like, it's like the Myers-Briggs difference between a sensing and an intuiting person.
Right.
Because, like, my problem with these kind of things is that I'll always be like, oh gosh, like, I'll know something, but I don't know why I know it, I could be like, oh my gosh, like, I think it's Donald, and I'm like, but why? And you're like, I don't know, so I'm not gonna follow through with it, because I have no idea why. And then it gets proved correct later, and I'm like, damn it,
Yes,
and then if people ask me if I'm like, yeah, and if I'm like, so I'm a little bit more intuitive like that. Like, people will be like, so tell me, why do you think that it's Donald? And I'm like, because it is. And, like, I can't explain it, so it's kind of just like, well, that's just hogwash. On with the game. I'm like, but wait,
that's incredible.
Yeah. So.
Oh my god, it is weird how things. Oh wait, okay. So I do have to mention this one. The same YouTube channel that I had in that I was talking about, they were doing I think it was like some kind of, like, Werewolf game or was like Resistance or something like that,
Yeah.
where they were going over the instructions of they had their eyes closed, heads down, everything like that, and they were doing the question in turn. One person knew who the killer and imposter was right away because the person that was imposter had a baseball cap on.
Yeah.
And depending on like certain movements like that, this is just a random bit of information that he knew. Mm-hmm. That certain movements, the sound can be distorted because of the hat.
Uh-huh.
Like room aerodynamics and stuff like that. And I'm just like, the fuck?
What the heck? Or you're like, it must be a person with shorter hair. Or whatever.
Maybe nothing like that, but it was like a baseball cap, and I tried testing that out for myself, and I'm like, oh my god, he's actually right!
Yeah.
That's so weird!
Yeah.
So, in games like that, like, in person, though, like, Among Us, it doesn't really help, because you don't have, like, that right in front of you person kind of experience like you would with, like, Werewolf.
Yeah.
You can catch up on, like, small little instances like that, and pinpoint that. Like, that's where the deduction part of the brain, like, becomes the most actualized, because you're utilizing, like, all your senses in that moment. Like, obviously, you can use all your senses in the moment in Among Us, but you have to do it in a certain way, because you're not seeing people face to face. You can only judge it based on the information that you have seen on your screen in gameplay, and just how a person is talking and trying to relay information.
Yeah. It also helps if you know any of the people. Because, the other thing, because, like, when I was playing with you guys, I didn't know who anybody was, because their screen name was different than the name that their little avatar had, and all that. So I was, like, looking, and I was like, okay, who's talking right now? And I'm like, oh, it's that person. Which one is that? I'm like, I don't know which of these little meeples over here is that person. So I just kind of like, most of my voting was honestly random.
Yeah, that was kind of a disadvantage on your part, because the people that we were playing with, like, I've known them for some of them that were playing, I've known for, like, a decade. I've been friends with them since high school. And some of them I have actually never met face-to-face, honestly. But I've been friends with them since high school, and we've known each other very well. And because we know each other very well, we know how the person acts in certain situations.
Right, yeah.
So we try to trip each other up every now and again.
Yep. Yeah. In some ways, that made it easier to be the killer in that situation, because no one really knew what I was doing. So
you were the wild card.
So if I didn't say anything, then they were like, well, I don't know if that's normal for her or not.
Exactly. You were a definite dark horse during that stretch. And it was actually a lot of fun having you be like that. I'm like, this is so much fun.
Oh, good. Yeah. Just kind of
what I really want to do, what I think would really be awesome, I would love to convince some VFR alumni and even the VFR board of directors to do a session of Among Us. I think that would be so much fun.
That would be.
Because the amount of people that VFR has, like, on their board of directors, you being one of them, and in their immediate talent pool, are such amazing people and characters.
Yeah. That would be fun, actually.
They have so many different ways that they talk, that they relay information, that they speak as. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
To do a VFR session of Among Us.
Actually, I think so too. Oh man, yes, that would be great.
You may take that idea.
Okay, I think I will.
I give you permission to use that idea.
Thank you. I will
take it as your own.
I will use it. Yes.
Try recreating, and then there were none, just via Among Us.
Yep. Oh man, yeah.
That would be. How would that even work?
I don't know.
That would be like the weirdest form of freaking theater in the world.
If we all had a little character that we were playing, like you built your character, and then you're like, well, tarnation, my name is Dingleberry Bootstrap, and I'm here not to kill, but to farm my potatoes.
But we're in space.
Space potatoes.
Oh my god, I'm getting...
Have you ever read The Martian? half of that book is about potatoes.
That is actually true, and most of the movie was actually about the farming of that.
Yep,
so
yep.
That's fair.
When I read that book, I did not need to know how many calories are in 300 potatoes. But I was told.
But potatoes are versatile. You can do them mashed, you can do them cheesy, you can do them au gratin, you can slice them up into wedges and fry them, you can make french fries out of them.
Yep.
If you were really fancy, you can make them waffle-shaped and do them waffle fries.
Yep. Waffle potato fries.
For those that don't know, I love french fries. I'm like addicted to french fries.
What's your favorite kind of potato? Would it be french fries? Like your favorite potato thing?
French fries are definitely up there. I would say among like my top 5 potato things would be French fries, mashed potatoes, sweet potato pie. That can constitute as that. And fourth, this is a different one, sweet potato cheesecake.
What?
That is a thing.
A whole new world.
I found sweet potato cheesecake when I was taking a trip to Atlanta, Georgia, back when I was in high school.
Oh, well, in Georgia, they love the sweet potato.
I love it. And
somebody's gonna come and kill me from down south.
and fifth and most importantly, homemade kettle chips.
Oh gosh.
And reverse that to also fresh potato skins.
Yes.
Like Irish potato skins.
Oh goodness. I love mashed potatoes, but that has more to do with the gravy that accompanies it than the mashed potatoes.
I don't like my mashed potatoes with gravy.
What?
I'm not too big on...
Good day, sir!
I should explain myself. I'm not too big on brown gravy. I'm not too big on gravy, but I will occasionally do, like, white gravy.
Okay.
I know I'm weird. I know I'm definitely weird.
What are your thoughts on tan gravy? Like an in-between, kind of. You like a more creamy gravy?
I like it a little more creamy.
Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like a little bit more of a creamy texture than a soupy kind of texture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, same.
That's just me.
I honestly don't care what the texture of my gravy is, but I do like a nice creamy gravy.
That's fair.
It'll be very exciting to look back on this episode and see how long we spent talking about potatoes.
I would say probably about maybe 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Yep, I'd say that about the length of time it takes to listen to a Taylor Swift song. We've been talking about potatoes.
Well, I look at it this way: the character models for Among Us do kind of look like randomized space potatoes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
they look like little beans with legs, no hands unless they form in order to kill somebody.
I'm trying to think. There was something else that I was going to say about Among Us. Oh well, it's gone.
I think the best part about that was like how Among Us has gotten so popular with that. The developers of the game, they originally wanted to do a second Among Us 2, but now they're like, we're going to scratch that for now, and we're going to focus more on this game that's technically 2 years old.
Yeah.
And they won like multiple awards for like, because of the boom that they got during that period.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be like a new map released this month. I don't know if they've gotten it done yet. I'm really excited to see it. They're also adding in new death animations and things like that.
Death animations.
Dude, the death animations are so good. There's literally one where they're literally the Thing from the movie The Thing. Their head just pops out and it's like a freaking xenomorph tongue going.
Oh gosh, I didn't see that one.
The death animation you gave me, you pulled out a knife and stabbed me.
Yep.
That was great.
Yep. Or there's that one time where it was like do you remember that one time where it was like, there was a reactor shut down, and I was near the reactor, so I was like, here I go, I'm gonna go fix the reactor, and I ran in there with another person, and they were up in front of me, and then as soon as we got into the decontamination chamber, they just, like, spun around and killed me, and I was like, oh my gosh, no, and then, like, we lost because
because no one fixed the reactor.
No one fixed it, yeah, because
we were all on the other side of the map like idiots. That was so dumb of us.
Oh man. But yeah, I had lots of fun.
Yeah. So I think we can wrap this up with, like, one question I think we really do need to ask, like, what do you think is the appeal to these kinds of, like, traitor kind of games? Like, what draws us to them?
Besides the obvious?
Our lust for blood.
Yeah. I see where your mind is going. Besides that, I mean, it's kind of I think we like problem solving and deduction, and we also like sort of conversation and like community. I think that might be part of it. Like, that's probably part of why this is a popular game right now, is because you could kind of hang out with people that you know, but it's online, and have conversations. And also, who doesn't like to just fling wild accusations all over the place and just see what happens?
That is very true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't personally. I can never think of anything, but, you know.
Understandable. Yeah, I think you kind of... That's actually a very good point. Like, we do a lot of this... Like, these style of gameplays requires a lot of communication between players, and obviously with the current pandemic and so many people being so far apart and not being able to meet together in large groups anymore for the foreseeable future, like, I think a game like this was really needed.
Yeah.
And the fact that it already existed and it was uncovered by Twitch streamers and it has exploded into this phenomenon.
Oh, for sure.
Has been nothing short of incredible.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, in a game where you can deduce, like, the deductive portion, like, of your brain to do something like that, it's a kind of challenge that really doesn't present itself in any other kind of genre of gameplay.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Both board game and video game.
Yeah, to sort of try and figure out... And it's fun to lie without without actually lying about anything important, you know? It's like lying without the social and moral ramifications of said lie. You know?
True. That is very, very true.
And yeah, it's because deception is fun, you know? And it's, deception is fun.
Yeah, that is very, very true. It's fun, but it's also very, very nerve-wracking. Because I can speak from, like, my experience. Like, the times I was imposter and I had to kill people, the nerves that I had was so real. There were times, like, I was just shaking my legs, like, uncontrollably. Like, it was almost like I had, like, 6 cups of coffee, like, in a time span of 30 minutes, and I just could not stop shaking. That was the kind of adrenaline high that I got off of that. But also, at the same time, like, doing deductive reasoning if you're trying to find the imposter, but also at the same time being in the moment and focusing clearly as an imposter, making sure you're not tripping up on your words, is also a really nice skill to have.
Yeah. And people say, like, people say this to me a lot. They say, well, you're an actor, you must be really good at lying. And I'm like, no, because when I'm acting, I'm not lying.
Exactly. Like, being an actor does not always equate to being a good liar.
Yeah, no.
That
means you're better at telling the truth.
Exactly. And exactly. It's better at telling the truth and portraying, like, a story. Like, when push comes to shove, like, this is more on this more goes to the style of acting that is basically improv.
Improv, yeah.
Yeah, this is more of an improv kind of skill style game for an actor compared to, like, planning out a script, like, building a character.
Right.
This is like an on-the-point improv kind of exercise.
Yep.
That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's improv, and it's not so much playing a character as just playing yourself. Which is a lot harder, I feel like, than playing a character. Because if you're playing a character on stage, you know what they're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people say, are you nervous when you go on stage and act in a play? And I'm like, no, because I know what's going to happen. But in my real life, I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you get used to like stage fright on a stage, and you know like how a line's gonna go and how you're gonna be able to receive it, unless the person that you're acting on stage with throws a curveball at you.
Yeah.
Then you have like almost an automatic kind of response sometimes, unless you're in the moment and reacting.
Yeah.
That also kind of applies to a game like Among Us, that if you're not in the moment and reacting, that can cause you to lose the game.
Right, yeah.
See, it's all about how the game is played.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of a great game because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a definite draw to this, and I honestly think a lot of people should play this game.
Yep.
I definitely
I agree.
I want you to play this game as part when we start doing the when we go further into the Enecticon series, just so you can get a little more experience and better at it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it'd be great.
Oh, so great. I think we can wrap it up with that.
I think so.
So yeah, deception games, traitor games, whatever you guys want to call them, they are fantastic. Definitely go play them. Whether it's keep it online right now, because of course we're still in middle of pandemic. We don't get up in large groups. But I do think you can get a lot of them online. I think you can do Werewolf online through like a tabletop simulator.
Maybe. Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but you also have games like Among Us, Dead by Daylight, all that kind of good stuff. Go venture off. Get a group of friends together, get a lobby going, have some fun.
Yeah.
Deceive each other. Work out who the imposter is. Most importantly, have fun while doing it.
Yup.
And I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to us ramble all about trader games and everything like that. If you guys like what you listen to, please make sure to give us a follow wherever podcasts can be found. We are on Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts. And if you don't have access to any of those services, you can check out all of the episodes on my personal YouTube channel at Anime Rev Productions. That is Anime Rev Productions on YouTube. If you guys want to follow us on all of our socials, we are on Instagram at General Geekery and on Facebook and Twitter at Gen Geek Podcast. And if you guys want to support the show in any way, shape, or form, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/General Geekery. Shout out to our most recent newest patron, Mr. Andrew Kelly.
Hello!
Mr. Andrew Kelly, our most recent patron. Tales from the Heliosphere podcast. Go check it out. Me and Hannah are both in it.
Yep.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely go check that out. And also check out our Patreon as well. We'll be including some more stuff as patrons pile up. So definitely become a part of it.
Absolutely.
Become a part of the community. Join us. Become a part of the Geek Hive Mind. I'm starting to sound like a cult now. I should really stop.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Hannah, where can they check you out at?
Well, you can find me rolling dice with my party every Monday at 7:30 Central on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. I play Petra, the Dragonborn Ranger Rogue. And you can also check me out on my other podcast that I do with my mom called the SPLANCHNIC podcast. We talk about art, movies, TV, tabletop gaming, all from the perspective of two different generations. And you can also find me on Instagram at Pythian Legume.
Awesome. And you guys can check me out on social media as well, on Twitter and Instagram at RyuzakiMK7. And you can also check me out on my Twitch channel as well at RyuzakiMK7 as well. I do a large majority of games. Many of them are RPG-based, but I always love interacting with my community and having a ton of fun while doing it. And if you guys want to see the playthroughs of Among Us that we did this previous Saturday night, I will share the link for those highlights in the description of this episode as well. So definitely go check that out and see what all the fun is about. It was definitely a lot of fun. So and if you want to follow me on Twitch via that, that's perfectly fine. Also follow Loaded Dice Adventures as well. They do a lot of fun. They're really great guys. That is going to be it for this episode. I believe episode 68, 69? Let me double check that.
68, I think.
I think it is 68. I forgot to check that prior to us recording this.
Oh, gosh. Thank you for listening to an episode.
An episode of the... Okay, this is episode 68. This has been episode 68 of the General Geekery Podcast, all about murder, traitor, and deception games. We'll just say deception games.
Deception games.
This definitely is deception.
Deception.
All about
Lies.
deception-based games. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski, and until next time, guys, always remember, stop acting sus.
And do your tasks, even if you're dead.
And always remember to keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink, clink. We didn't clink hard enough. That's kind of sus, Hannah.
What?
You were acting kind of sus. That wasn't a hard enough clink.
Okay, can we do it again?
Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. All sus is cleared.
Sounded like something getting hit by a bus.
Bye, guys.